Tony and I got married at an early age, and back then, we didn't have much. But from the very beginning, Tony was determined to create a better future for our family. Shortly after we were married, Tony joined the Army, and we moved to our first duty station at Fort Campbell, Kentucky. Those weren't always easy years, but they taught us the importance of sacrifice, faith, and commitment. What I've always admired about my husband is that he's the same person at home that people see in the public. He's honest, he's humble, and he genuinely cares about people. He's a devoted husband, a loving father, and a proud grandfather. Tony and I have been together for 43 years, and I've been blessed to stand beside him through every chapter of our lives. I'm Annette Umpinko Ada, and I humbly ask for your support and vote for my husband, Tony Ada, for Governor of Guam.
I'm Tony Ada, and I approve this message. Together, we'll put Guam first.
Hafaday, I'm Therese Arriola.
And I'm Michele Perez.
We believe that Guam should be a safe, flourishing island with a government that lowers the cost for everyday people, replaces corruption with fair economic opportunity, fights to stop meth, and shelters unhoused children.
Protects our water and investigates the source of contaminants. Our records show our integrity, honesty, and ability to listen and follow through.
We need your help to stand up for what is right. Vote Michele Perez.
A vote for us is a vote for Guam.
I am Therese Arriola, and I approve this message.
You know that saying, only sorry because you got caught? I think that's what's going on here. This morning, early in the morning, I think like at 2 in the morning or something like that, the Tenorio Munya Barnes campaign uploaded to social media a 1-minute commercial. And it's Lieutenant Governor Josh Tenorio and Senator Tina Munya Barnes reading from either placards or from a teleprompter, probably a teleprompter. They have that kind of money in their campaign to be able to buy teleprompters. Very clearly reading from teleprompters, right? If you watch it, it's a little awkward to watch, but, and it's their apology, and they say that they're sorry to everyone who was hurt by the comments at the rally, and they plead with everyone that that's not who they are. But here's the thing. Here's the thing. If you were really sorry, if that really is not who you are, then when you were at the rally, and as soon as you heard that man, the MC, make fun of kids, first of all, kids, like who makes fun of kids? Except like in like a light-hearted type of way, but not like in an insulting way, right? But even worse, children with special needs. As soon as Lieutenant Governor Josh Tenorio heard that, because he's not just a candidate, he's not just someone running for governor, which on its own is important. He's also the sitting Lieutenant Governor of Guam. He is the second in command and control of the agencies entrusted with public funds and federal funds to provide services to people living with disabilities, to children whose parents just want them to have a shot in this world. And Senator Tina Munya Barnes, candidate for lieutenant governor, yes, but a sitting senator. And it makes me wonder what other sitting senators were in that crowd. And none of them, not the lieutenant governor of Guam, not Senator Tina Munya Barnes, who's running for lieutenant governor, no sitting senator who was in the crowd, no candidate for senator who was in the crowd, no sitting mayor who was in the crowd, walked up to the stage, took the microphone and said, "Hey, everybody, I understand that emotions are high and that, you guys, we have something against Therese Arriola or something against Joe San Augustine because they're our opponents. But condescending to them by making a mockery of children with disabilities, that's not who we are. And I'm sorry about the comments that were made just now. And I'm sorry about the laughter that followed, but we have to be better than this. Why didn't anybody say that at the moment, in the moment? And I'll tell you why. It's because the sorrow is insincere. It is only sorrow because of the outrage. And you know how I know that? And you know how we should know that? This wasn't some viral video that came from someone's phone and was uploaded to WhatsApp or to Facebook or to Instagram off some private page and then it went viral. This is a video that was uploaded by the Josh and Tina campaign to the Josh and Tina Instagram page. They uploaded it themselves. They are so disconnected from the realities of people who struggle that they thought it was okay in that moment to post something that condescended to their two opponents by making a mockery of children with disabilities. They thought it was okay, and as soon as the outrage came and they realized that they were going to lose votes from it, that's the only time that they issued an apology. And it was a written apology, and it was a written apology that blamed the MC and said nothing about the crowd, said nothing about their failure as leaders to address the matter in that moment. And you know how else I'm made aware that they're not truly sorry for this is because according to Democratic candidates themselves, this is not the first time that that MC has made that very same joke at a Josh and Tina gathering. And it's not the first time that after he made that joke, the crowd laughed. There are these things called district meetings, I'm told. They're bigger than pocket meetings, and they have the motorcades there and everything. Districts 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And in those district meetings, I'm told by candidates who wish to remain anonymous, because of course, the retaliation, right? That same joke was said. So where was the apology then? And in the Josh and Tina I'm sorry video that was posted at 2 this morning where they read from a teleprompter, where was their sorrow for those statements? Because there was only sorrow for the one viral video that everyone's outraged about. What about for everything else? And furthermore, you know, in a way, I feel bad for this guy. And this is why I don't say his name. You know, he's a rank and file government of Guam employee. He's chosen to be the MC, and apparently he gets the crowd going or whatever. And he made a mistake. I know what it's like to make mistakes. I think we all know what it's like to make mistakes, right? Bad mistake, yes. He took ownership for it. He took ownership only for that, I should point out. Probably should have taken ownership for the previous things if he'd indeed said those things. But anyway, I digress from that. Their statement or their apology blamed that guy, right? And put it all on him. And they had to say that they're sorry for what he did. Well, I'm curious then. If Josh Tenorio and Tina Mooney Barnes are that quick to say sorry for a statement made by one of their surrogates in their campaign, I'm wondering why Josh Tenorio has not been as quick to say he's sorry for the reported or the alleged actions of his family that have been the subject of massive scandal, well beyond an 8-second clip. Where was Josh Tenorio in saying that he is sorry for the actions of his brother-in-law, Frankie Rosalind, when his brother-in-law was accused in a statement by the Seaport General Manager, Rory Respicio, of having allegedly terrorized him? Silence from Josh Tenorio. It wasn't caught on video. Maybe that's why there was no sorry. Where is Josh Tenorio's "I am sorry for" when all of the contracts started to come out and all of the people started to complain about the state of the graves and the markers over at Tiguac Cemetery, and the contracts started to come out and the evidence started to come out showing that it was his sister's company who was paid to upkeep the cemetery? Where was Josh Tenorio's "I'm sorry" to the families of Tiguac Cemetery buried loved ones? Where was Josh Tenorio's "I'm sorry" when the federal government came out after following a multi-year FBI investigation, 1 million pages of evidence, gigabytes of witness statements, hours of witness statements, gigabytes of phone records, and an indictment filed on June 25, 2025, alleging that his sister was the head of a conspiracy that allegedly stole millions of dollars, not just from the federal government, but from the poor? Where was Josh Tenorio sorry then? This is how you know, my friends, that it's only sorry because they got caught. And what's worse is how, you know how that video went viral, right? There's another virus here. And the virus that has infected the leadership of this island. On the other side, throughout this show, what I want to call everyone's attention to are not simply Josh Tenorio and Tina Muñoz Barnes, but the leaders of this administration, including the governor of Guam. And were they there? If they were there, were they laughing? First of all, why didn't they go up to the stage and stop what was happening? Why didn't they stop people from laughing? Were they laughing as well? What do they think now? And why is there so much silence? We will discuss these matters on the other side of the commercial break. Stick with us.
Leadership isn't measured by campaign promises. It's measured by a lifetime of keeping them. For years, Tony Atta has delivered results for the people of Guam. He authored Guam's Castle Doctrine, strengthening the rights of law-abiding citizens to protect themselves and their families. He passed laws protecting consumers, strengthened opportunities to bring more doctors and healthcare professionals to Guam, fought for small local businesses, and worked to make government serve the people, not the other way around. His record isn't built on speeches. It's built on action, on integrity, on keeping his word. That's what put Guam first means, putting our island first.
As your governor, I will lead with integrity, and every decision I make will put Guam first. I'm Tony Atta, and I humbly ask for your vote. I'm Tony Atta, and I approve this message.
Half a day, I'm Therese Arriola.
And I'm Sabina Perez.
As your senators, you've seen us fight for lower fuel and utilities costs, lower real property taxes, for the Chamorro Land Trust and affordable housing, to stop meth from entering our island.
For your environment, to remove abandoned vehicles and illegal dumping, for fairness in procurement, and for resources of the government to benefit all the people of Guam.
We've been fighting for you, and that's why we're running for governor
And Lieutenant Governor.
Please vote Therese Perez.
A vote for us is a vote for Guam.
I am Therese Arriola, and I approve this message.
Good Morning Show with Troy Torres is brought to you by 76 Circle K Guam.
Welcome back to the show. It is 7:57 a.m. on Tuesday, July 28, 2026. My name is Troy Torres. I know we have a lot of commercials, and that's I'm happy about that. We at Kandit are happy about that, but I know it takes up It takes up time, and there's people who don't like commercials, but it's how we live, okay? It's how we're able to survive. It's how the company is able to continue moving forward. So please do appreciate our commercials, our advertisers, most especially our commercial advertisers who are with us through thick and thin, and they never ask us to say anything, to do anything, they're just ethical commercial advertisers, and they've stuck with us for quite some time already. So, shout out to them. And of course, for our political advertisers who we make no comment about, but that's seasonal, that comes every 2 years, every 4 years or whatever. Anyway, so the first thing I want to call out is front and center of that Josh and Tina campaign, right? Because the focus has been that guy, the MC, and he should really not be the focus. Yes, his words cut like a knife, right? What's worse than what the MC said was that the crowd laughed. That's like and so when I saw the apology letter from the MC, I was like, well, that's fine. That's commendable actually that he wrote that apology letter. Where's the apology letters from everyone who's in the crowd? Where's that? I'd like to see those apology letters. I would like to see at the very least, those posts go up on Facebook saying, I was one of the people in the crowd, and, the moment got the best of me. My demons came out, and I was one of the people who laughed. And so I want to say that I'm sorry to everybody. Where's that? I haven't seen a single one of those. But we sure as heck heard all of those people laughing in that viral video. But here's what's worse than that, because it wasn't just any other gubernatorial campaign's rally. This is the present administration's gubernatorial campaign rally. This is the Democratic administration of Lulian Guerrero and Joshua Tenorio attempting to have a third term through their proxy, Lieutenant Governor Josh Tenorio and Senator Tina Mooney Barnes. And so because of that, and we know that this is what happens on both the Democrat and the Republican side whenever someone's an incumbent, is cabinet members are there. Employees are there. Even employees who are not supposed to be there because of the Mini Hatch Act. They're there as well. And they're giving their support, and they bring their families there, and they have quotas that they have to meet according to the campaign. And, if they don't, they're going to get in trouble. They might lose their jobs. Their families won't be hired, or might not get their jobs, or might not get the pay raises that they're promised. All that stuff, right? And so the question is, well, if they're supposed to be there, that means that the agency heads who have jurisdiction over the programs that directly affect people living with disabilities, children with special needs, and children, we're all there. And we looked through some pictures, and what we came across? Very interesting. Front and center, as that joke was being made, was Jermaine Alerta, the director of the Guam Developmental Disabilities Council. Front and center, cheering on the MC, laughing with the MC, cheering on Josh Tenorio, was the compliance manager for DISID, Michael Pobletti. The same guy who just previously was the head of special education over at DISID. I haven't heard one peep out of those two about their disdain or their disgust for what was said, how it's wrong, how they hope that their own campaign and their own administration can do better, or whether they've reached out to their constituency to say, hey, I know you guys saw this and we're working to make things better. I haven't heard any of that from those two who we know were at that rally front and center. And so I want to do something. We haven't done this in a while. Because we're going to get the runaround from the administration. I'll tell you what John Ryan, the governor's director of communications, wrote to me in reply to my questions about this in just a second. The only way we're going to be able to get any type of answer is if we get people on the phone. Let's see if Jermaine Alerta answers.
Hello?
Hi, Mr. Alerta. This is Troy Torres with Kandit News calling you on live stream. We're on a show right now and our audience is listening.
Okay.
Hi, Mr. Alerta. I have to ask, because you're the head of the GDDC, what is your reaction to those comments made at the political rally you were at that mocked children with special needs?
It was an unfortunate comment. It was uncalled for, and I can't speak for the individual who did make the comment. But in my personal capacity, I'm trying to find the right way to say it, but it just, I'm still troubled by what was said.
Okay.
And hindsight, right? In hindsight, I wish things like that weren't said because, in the areas of disabilities and with the individuals and families I've become close to and have worked with, there's always a kind of stigma that they're always trying to overcome in their lives, and when things like this happen, it just kind of gives, I don't want to say, for lack of a better term, flashbacks of some of the worst things people have experienced. So
yes,
it was an unfortunate incident, and I have spoken to some people about it, and they were very hurt by it, and I understand where they were coming from in that sense, and we try to just tell them that just kind of do what you do to get through it, and always fall back on your support systems. Just because they already live more difficult lives than most other people, and we just want to reassure them that there are those in the community who do support them, and just reassure them that negative comments can be overcome. When we can talk about it and just try to look at more of the positive things. It's hard for me to talk about it only because I can't imagine how a family or an individual feels, right, hearing stuff like that, because each person is going to take it differently. So I can just say I was very shocked when it happened, and
what is your message, Jermaine? Mr. Alerta, what's your message to everyone in the crowd, your fellow supporters who were laughing at that mockery of children?
I don't know why someone would laugh. I can't speak on the reason why people did laugh.
But what is your message to them?
Do better. Do better. I mean, that's just what it is. I mean, I was shocked at the moment, but I mean, just do better. I can't take responsibility for why people respond or act a certain way. So all I can ask is that people look at themselves and do better.
But you can take responsibility for your actions. So let me ask you, Mr. Alerta, what were your actions in the immediate aftermath of that joke and the crowd reaction, the crowd laughter? Did you look at the person next to you and say, hey, that's not something that's funny? Or did you go up to the lieutenant governor or to the governor and say, we need to fix this? What did you do?
Well, I was sitting next to a friend, and at the moment, I mean, we were I wasn't really. I mean, I wasn't really paying attention at the time, right? Because I was talking with my friend, and this was kind of a downtime where the event was kind of just getting started. There were no people on the stage yet, right? So I wasn't paying attention at that time because I've been to different events, and I only kind of listen when candidates are speaking, right? So this was the offhand comment. I think we may have we caught it, and we looked at each other, and my initial reaction was, wow, I can't believe he just said that, right? So I said, I wonder what's going to happen. So, I mean, I was in my wheelchair at the time. So I was just there in the crowd, and it kind of just, the event just kind of went on, right? So my initial reaction was one of disbelief. I mean, I spoke to my friend who was next to me. That was the only person of immediate, that I could just converse with at the time. So that was it. I mean, I didn't know where any of the candidates were, so I couldn't go up to them and speak to them.
Have you since spoken with your constituencies? I know that there's been an outcry from several groups who advocate for people with disabilities.
I haven't spoken to any one group specifically, like to an entire group. I have spoken with people who I know that have asked me about it, and I've shared with them that it was unfortunate. The same sentiments I was sharing with you, and that's kind of where it's been since the other day.
Mr. Alerta, do you feel that the actions you have taken or inactions since this controversy have that you've taken been in the best interest of the people, the constituents you serve, your consumers?
Can you repeat that? I'm sorry. I'm trying to just understand.
Do you believe that the actions that you have taken since this scandal erupted have been in the best interest of your consumers, your constituents? Do you believe you've done that you've served them with fidelity in consideration of this scandal?
I mean, I've spoken to them, and I've assured them that because we've always, for the DISID Council, I've always talked about inclusion, and part of the stuff, some of the stuff we go out and we bring to the community is information on how to properly speak to people, how to understand that words do matter and actions do matter. So when people have spoken to me about it, I tell them, I said, this is what we've done at the DISID Council. We've done a lot of different events where we try to encourage self-advocates and advocates for people with disabilities about trying to show, raise public awareness about some of the difficulties they go through in their lives. So I think for me personally, when people have asked me about it, I've explained to them what I told you, that I was obviously hurt by what was said, and I can't take responsibility for what happened, but I can go forward telling them that I am part of a support system that they have if they do face things like this that happen to them.
But could you not, sir, take partial responsibility for what happened, considering that you're part of it's voluntary, right, for you to go to these political events? I'm assuming it's voluntary, right? So you volunteered to go to a political event and to be part of a political movement that reasonable people would suggest, because of that remark, increased the bad stereotypes against children living with disabilities. Do you take any responsibility for at least being part of this group?
Well, I mean, on a personal note, of course, it was my personal decision to attend that event. But I'm very clear that it's not. I don't mix what I do in my role as the DDC with any political event. Those are two separate things, right? So in that respect, I don't take any responsibility campaign-wise, because that was not my role. My role for DDC has nothing to do with the political campaign. So it's very, I'm trying to ensure people that my role with the federal program that I work under is not have anything. There's no relationship to my personal decision to take part in the campaign.
Thank you for bringing up the issue of federal funds. Is your position federally funded?
Yes, we do receive an annual grant as part of the Developmental Disabilities Act.
Were any of your other employees present at the rally?
One employee was there again, and it was totally voluntary.
Is it legal, according to either the Hatch Act or the Mini Hatch Act, for federally funded employees to participate in political rallies?
They're allowed to do it on their personal time.
So so you're saying, according to the Hatch Act and the Mini Hatch Act, your understanding of them, that it is legal.
In my understanding, I'm not opining anything legally. It's just in my understanding that employees are allowed to take part in events on their personal time, so it cannot be on work time.
Sir, my most important question is, what can be done? What's the plan now to fix this rollback in progress against these types of stereotypes? What's the plan to move things forward?
Well, we're going to continue trying to raise public awareness. That's always been
how will you do it?
That we've seen. In the work that the DISID Council does, because there is limits on what we can do in terms of shaping any public policy, but we take part in community events. We try to encourage advocates and self-advocates and their support systems to try to be more involved in some of the decisions that take place in both the government and in other community situations, so that the issues that affect them, they're part of the conversation. So it's really about trying to, again, increase or raise public awareness, and then also try to encourage and support advocates and self-advocates to be more present in the conversations and discussions around the issues that are affecting them in their lives.
I'm asking for a specific plan, sir. So, I would assume that because you said that you were appalled, or that you were surprised, you were taken aback by the comments on Saturday night, that when you got into the office on Monday morning, you got your team together to have an urgent meeting about how to combat, how to turn the tide on this egregious issue. Did you have a meeting? First of all, did you go into the office Monday morning with that sense of urgency to do something, to plan something?
It was definitely a thing, but again, it's important that this happened at a campaign event, and
the entire island has that children with special needs are aware of. And so my question again, did you go into the office Monday morning and did you call your team together in order to at least develop a plan to combat the bad that has been done?
Yeah, we definitely did have discussions about it, and we did understand the kind of totality of the situation and how it really cast a negative shadow on some of the work and some of the progress we've been seeing in terms of community understanding of people with disabilities and their issues. So it's obviously something that we're going to continue to do with some of the work and the partnerships we do with other disability organizations on our island. And we want to make sure that the work we continue, this isn't something that kind of puts a dent in that work, but it's something that allows people to get a greater sense of urgency that there's still a lot of misconceptions in the community, and there's still a lot of negative stereotypes that are floating around out there. And so that some of the work we do, maybe we have a greater focus on some of the more specific issues. Again, we haven't identified them specifically as of this point, but
so there's no plan right now. There's no specific plan right now.
We have our plans of the work that we do currently.
I'm talking about in response to this issue. There's no specific plan right now.
We haven't come up with one yet.
Okay. That's all I wanted to know. Thank you, Mr. Alerta. Is there anything else that you wanted to inform our audience about?
I'm not at this point. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Alert. So you have a blessed day, and blessings to you and your team in trying to correct this mess.
All right, Troy. You have a good day as well.
God bless you. Bye. It's disconcerting having that conversation and realizing that there hasn't been a sense of urgency yet to correct it from the Guam Developmental Disabilities Council. There's no plan. All right, that's one. We're calling Michael Pilbetti, compliance manager with DISID, because his picture was shown there.
Hello.
Hi, good morning, Mr. Pobletti. This is Troy Torres with Kandit News on live stream. You are live with our audience right now.
Half a day.
Half a day. Mr. Pobletti, in examining the pictures put out by the campaign for Josh and Tina, you were there. And there were many pictures of you, and video of you agreeing with the MC at different times. You have a high level position over at DISID. You were in charge of special education programs. What is your response to Joe Meno's remarks mocking children with special needs?
He acknowledges that that was inappropriate. What was mentioned in the campaign for the motorcade rally, and he expressed it. It was really genuine in expressing in sincerity about that when he discussed and he mentioned about it.
Thank you, sir.
It was very unfortunate that was relayed in our motorcade rally.
So thank you for expressing your reaction to Mr. Meno's apology. But I'm asking, what was your reaction at the time when he said that? Were you one of the people who laughed?
No, I was not one of the people that laughed, because working with the disabilities and having the disabilities within my own family, it really was very surprising, and it was not appropriate for that.
I'm wondering why you didn't take the stage, or the DISID director. Why didn't she take the stage, or the governor, or the lieutenant governor? Why didn't any of you guys take the stage right after that comment was made in order to correct the crowd?
We were trying. It was very unfortunate. It was very unfortunate for that to happen, and we were just surprised, very surprised, and we just, that was very unfortunate for that to happen.
The reason you did not take the stage to correct the issue was because you were surprised, and you felt it was unfortunate?
It was very, it happened where it was not supposed to, and we were just we were very surprised, honestly.
What about the people, because I'm sure people all around you were laughing. We all heard the viral clip, and it was crowd laughter. It was very loud. Did you look at any of them and say, hey, that's not a funny thing to laugh at, or anything like that?
The supporters that have families with disabilities, they understand and they know that this was not a laughing matter, because it hits home with us with dealing with our family members and our constituents and our clients that are having with the disabilities. So we see it at the other side of it, that we understand clearly of it.
So then how does that make you feel that your fellow supporters of the campaign to make Josh Tenorio the governor of Guam. How does it make you feel that they had that reaction, that they laughed at the mockery of children with special needs?
How I feel it was that it was unfortunate that he made that comment.
No, not about his comment. I'm asking about the laughter from so many of your fellow supporters. How do you feel about them?
Sometimes they may not understand because if they don't have that experience with people with disabilities, they may not understand of what they go through.
So they're ignorant to the struggles of, so many of those supporters are ignorant to the struggles of people with disabilities.
Sometimes they may not understand what the people with disabilities go through.
Isn't that the definition of ignorance?
They may not understand.
Sir, considering how unfortunate it is that so many did not understand what people go through, I'm sure then, whether or not the image went viral and it became a scandal in the public eye, that as soon as you heard the comment and as soon as you witnessed the laughter from the crowd, you understood that this is a major issue that needs urgent reaction from DISID. So I'm wondering, sir, did you and the leadership team of DISID get into the office Monday morning and hold an emergency meeting to figure out how to undo what has been done against children with special needs?
It was discussed because we also have our constituents and clients. They reached out to our office expressing their concerns of what occurred.
What time did the meeting happen on Monday?
We had a meeting because our clients did come in and express their concerns.
So what time did that meeting happen?
We met with our management team and leadership as well.
Can I know what time it happened on Monday?
That time for the meeting?
Yes.
So that's what we had to deal with because we had to address them. We had our clients that are coming in to address it.
So, sir, there was no meeting of the management team about this issue on Monday then?
It was discussed.
From that discussion, whenever that discussion happened, whether it was by email or WhatsApp, is there a plan for how to fix or to undo what has been done?
That will be addressed with our leadership and our management, and the appropriate message would be forthcoming.
Mr. Plebesi, is there anything else that you'd like to inform our audience about this issue?
That we are working diligently with our community, with the disabilities, and also with our leadership that we are completing for the people of our islands.
Thank you very much, Mr. Plebesi. You have a good day, and I really hope that your team, since you guys are the people entrusted by the public with public funds, are working on this diligently, especially for children with special needs.
Yes.
God bless you. Bye.
Thank you.
I cannot say honestly that I am surprised, but it still doesn't take the edge away. It still doesn't make it better. On the other side of the commercial break, I want to talk about the directors, the governor's personally appointed, politically appointed directors of the agencies who have direct jurisdiction over programs that are supposed to serve people living with disabilities, children, and children with special needs. We'll get to that on the other side of this commercial break. Stick with us.
Hafaday, I'm Therese Arriola.
And I'm Sabina Perez.
We believe that Guam should be a safe, flourishing island with a government that lowers the cost for everyday people, replaces corruption with fair economic opportunity, fights to stop meth, and shelters unhoused children.
Protects our water and investigates the source of contaminants. Our records show our integrity, honesty, and ability to listen and follow through.
We need your help to stand up for what is right. Vote Michele Perez.
A vote for us is a vote for Guam.
I am Therese Arriola, and I approve this message.
Welcome back to this unfortunate of shows. It's 8:28 a.m. on Tuesday, July 28, 2026. My name is Troy Torres, and I'm melancholy for all the obvious reasons. Now, those are two people who we know were in the crowd because the Josh and Tina campaign was smart enough to put up all the pictures to show the people in the crowd. We're still looking, we're still sorting through those pictures, but as it always has been with when incumbents are having their political rallies for the gubernatorial campaign, the cabinet members are there, and I'm wondering where directors who have jurisdiction over the programs affecting people with disabilities or support systems, where do they stand on all of this? Were they there? Were they laughing? Why didn't they go up to the stage to do anything? Did they ask the lieutenant governor or Senator Barnes or the governor to go up to the stage and to say anything? Because that didn't happen. Because the written apology didn't happen until 4 hours later, when it was obvious that there was public outrage. The apology from Joe Meno did not come out until an hour before the Josh and Tina written apology. And then, of course, early this morning, we were treated to the 1-minute staged I'm Sorry tour by Josh Tenorio and Tina Munoz Barnes themselves. But where was the Director of Public Health and Social Services, Therese Arriola? Under whose agency are the greatest amount of social workers who, on a daily basis, they don't just spend their lives, they also sometimes risk their health and their lives, these social workers, to assist people in different communities, and they spend their lives helping people with disabilities. So that's some of their clients, right? Because these are programs like Medicaid, CHIP, SNAP, WIC, all these different programs that are housed under the Department of Public Health and Social Services and that are supposed to be helping people with special needs. So this is an agency that's very much supposed to be a leader in understanding stigma, stereotype, and that what was said on that stage was not right, and that the reaction from the crowd was even worse. Where is Therese Arriola in all of this? Where is the Director of Behavioral Health and Substance Abuse, Carissa Pangelinan? Was she laughing after the joke was made? Did she turn to people who were laughing and say, stop that? This is not right. I lead an agency of employees who spend their lives helping people with issues that you're laughing at. Children at that. Did she do that? Did she go up to Governor Lulian Guerrero or Lieutenant Governor Josh Tenorio or Senator Tina Munoz Barnes and say, hey, if one of you guys are not going to go up to the stage to correct this, I'm going to go up myself? Because I'm wondering who these directors serve. They get their salaries from us. They are in positions that are offices of public trust. Yet their actions or inaction, in this case, at this rally, says that not only do they not serve us, even though we're the ones paying them, Not only do they not serve their agencies, they're serving a political entity. That's what their inaction says. What about Michele Perez, the DISID director? Was she there? Did she try to correct anything? Why didn't she go up to the stage? Did she have a conversation with Joe Mano or any of the people who were laughing? Did she have a conversation with the governor or the lieutenant governor or Senator Tina Muñoz Barnes? What about Tyrone Taitano, whose agency has been a political dumping ground? All the hiring happening over there, limited term appointments, people who are not qualified to be in those positions of public trust. Over an agency that makes one of the biggest, or is supposed to make one of the biggest differences in the issue of poverty and accessibility. Guam Regional Transit Authority, mass transit. Of all these directors, he should understand the struggle that the poor and those without accessibility go through. Where was he? Or is he still hearting all of the Josh and Tina stuff despite what was done to the constituency he's supposed to serve? Why didn't he go up on the stage to say anything? Was he one of the people who was laughing? He's one of the top people asking all of you to vote for Josh and Tina. What about his job that he's paid for? Is he one of the first to defend people who don't have transportation, people who don't have access to vehicles or mobility? Was he laughing as well when he heard Vince Arriola making fun of people who don't have cars? This inaction from the cabinet speaks louder than anything that we can think of. You know what? Matter of fact, I just remembered something. Hold on. I have Therese Arriola's number. Hafide, good morning, Miss Arriola. This is Troy Torres at Kandit News. I'm calling you on live stream with our audience right now.
Hi, Troy, I'm so sorry. I'm going into the legislature now.
Okay, you're not able to talk to us right now.
I'm being called into session.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Miss
I'm,
Arriola.
I'm right here.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thanks.
Bye. Therese Arriola is not able to take our call because she's walking into session. We'll try this again. We'll try those phone calls again tomorrow. Here's the thing, my friends. I was going to cut to a commercial break and go to my next segment, but I've already taken up a lot of time. Those phone calls took a lot of time. And the last thing I wanted to talk about was Governor Lulian Guerrero. So I sent a bunch of messages yesterday to John Ryan, or to the media chat for the governor's office, addressed to John Ryan, the governor's director of communications, the governor's, spokesman. Let me go to that chat right now so I can read to you the questions that I had. Some of the questions that I had. I asked him, were the directors of mass transit, DISID, DVR, public health, and behavioral health present at the Josh and Tina rally? Did they participate in the crowd laughter heard in the viral video of the mockery of children with special needs? Then I asked, what are their thoughts on this matter? Then I asked, what are the governor's thoughts on so many of her workers laughing at children with disabilities? And the final question, was the governor there? If she was, why didn't she go up to the stage to admonish the crowd for their reaction to those words? And this is a whole opportunity for the governor's office, for Governor Lulian Guerrero, to take that bully pulpit and to make this right, not for her administration, not for any of us, not for politics, but for kids. Because here's the thing. Here's what the real problem is, my friends. And I know you realize this just as much as I do. So I'll be the choir for you, right? The real problem is kids who need supports, who will now refuse those supports because they're embarrassed, because the Lieutenant Governor of Guam and his running mate, Senator Tina Muñoz Barnes, and their entire campaign felt it was okay to laugh at their plight, felt it was okay to laugh at something they have no control over, born that way, or because of the environment became that way, because of an accident became that way. Kids who, in order for their parents to have any type of confidence that when they leave this world, their children will have a semblance of autonomy, will be able to fend for themselves, supports necessary toward that end, like the short bus, like the special education curriculum of the Guam Department of Education, like the special education services over at DISID, like the social work apparatus over at public health or behavioral health, like getting them transitioned into DVR services, the Guam Developmental Disabilities Council. The important thing for the governor to have done, and she has been absolutely silent throughout this whole thing, the governor of Guam, is to address these kids and tell them that was wrong of what that guy did, that was wrong what how my employees reacted. I am looking into disciplining them as the governor of Guam, because this is not representative of my administration, nor is it representative of the culture of this island. Flies in the face of the Chamorro people and the Chamorro culture that this happened. Because kids are not punchlines. Children with disabilities are never supposed to be looked down upon. But we haven't heard one damn peep out of the mouth of the governor of Guam. And here is to my questions about what the governor is doing about this, or what the governor did. These are the answers from the governor's spokesman. I was not there at the time and will not speculate as to who was or how they may have reacted. As I was not there, I will not speculate who was in the crowd or how they reacted, nor will I do so on behalf of the governor. I do not know if the governor was present or when she was made aware of the comment. That's the answer from Adelup. And that, my friends, is how you know that these guys are not sorry whatsoever and have no intention of correcting this and do not care one damn about children and children with disabilities. For Kandit News, I'm Troy Torres. Thank you so much for joining me today. Join me tonight for our play of our interview with Joe San Augustine and Dwayne Siniclis. Have a blessed day.
Hafa I'm Therese Arriola.
And I'm Sabina Perez.
We believe that Guam should be a safe, flourishing island with a government that lowers the cost for everyday people, replaces corruption with fair economic opportunity, fights to stop meth, and shelters unhoused children.
Protects our water and investigates the source of contaminants. Our records show our integrity, honesty, and ability to listen and follow through.
We need your help to stand up for what is right. Vote Michele Perez.
A vote for us is a vote for Guam.
I am Therese Arriola, and I approve this message.
Access to medical care is becoming more and more of an issue here in Guam, and it doesn't even matter if you have the ability to pay. It's getting harder to see a doctor, to get an appointment, or to get the specialty care that you need. So I want to show you a growing solution to a growing problem. They're going to go out of their way to help find you a solution. and they've been growing their clinical services. Aside from this place looking and feeling homely, like this is their waiting area. Like, I don't think that people really understand that they do full clinical services here. Like, this is one of their clinical rooms. Look how nice it is. You get your vision exam here. So do you need to see an OBGYN, get family medicine done, internal medicine done? This is all stuff that's done here at the Total Guam Foundation. And
Guam AutoSpot is extending our overstock sell-off with the hottest deals on island, like our 2025 GMC Canyon with $4,000 off. Or slide into a brand new Mitsubishi Eclipse Cross, starting at just $24,995. September is your chance to drive big and save even bigger. Visit us today or get pre-approved online at guamautospot.com or call 478-AUTO. Guam AutoSpot, where the savings never stop.
This stuff's hitting the spot.